Hey, good evening, folks.
My phone does what it always. All my phones do that. I have no idea why, but as soon as it starts, they jump up.
Oh, yeah. Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of Friday Night Tech Talk. We're your hosts, Ted Talks, and I'm joined by Mobile Geezer.
Good evening, everybody. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day. I did.
Yeah, was it a wonderful day? Feels like it was a long day.
Well, you know me. As long as I'm driving all day, I'm having a wonderful day. And I was driving, and it was sunny, and it was hot. So.
Yeah. Oh, today is National Donut Day.
And I already had my free donut today.
Well, where'd you get it from? Krispy Kreme or Dunkin'?
Yeah, well, the guy, this Krispy Kreme is the headquarters is here in Chattanooga. So the guys were going crazy. Gotta get. So we went. I followed one of the guys to Krispy Kreme. Well, it was so crowded, and I had the big 15-passenger van, so I couldn't even find a parking space. But he got me a free one anyway. And then they stopped somewhere else in another town, and they all three of them got another free one.
No, that's nice.
Yeah,
that's really nice.
Krispy Kreme was giving them one donut away free in every location, and Dunkin' Donuts, if you bought something, you could get a free one.
Screw Dunkin'.
It was also National Cheese Day today.
Cheese Day.
Yes, National Cheese Day.
I got some cheese in the fridge. Goat cheese. Maybe I should try that out.
They were all saying what cheese they like, and I'm thinking Eleanor taught me to like goat cheese, but I didn't mention it. But as you could tell, we had some pretty cheesy conversations.
Actually, I think my favorite is the Winchester. It's the cheese with cranberries inside.
I've never had that. Never heard of it, actually.
Yeah. Give me a moment. I got to get out of this space.
All right. Meanwhile, I'll say good evening, Nigel. He was first. And Eleanor, his big sis, she was second. Brian was right behind her. And then Renz checked in, but I'm sure he said running late again. He's driving to work, I would guess. So sure he'll be in here soon. So I hope everybody's having a good week. We had some rain. Now today we had a nice warm sunny day, got up to 88 degrees. So we're getting into my.
Hey guys, I got to bounce for a bit. It was great talking with you all. You guys have a great weekend.
Same here. You too. Yeah, you're on it out.
So he's on phone calls while he's live.
Anything. Well, it was actually Twitter Spaces.
Oh, pardon me.
Have you joined?
No.
You never been on a Twitter space?
Nope.
No, you haven't. How about Clubhouse?
No.
Nope. Okay.
I thought about Clubhouse. I found I wasn't interested.
Yeah, that's what Twitter spaces are, essentially. They're like Clubhouses. Yeah. Just less public.
They just don't. And plus the fact, how many people want to talk to an old man? Probably not many. That's my guess.
Man, I'm sure they would have liked it. Well, no, that's. Yeah, I'm sure there's always, see how things were back in the day. Just what you should create a room called Back in the Day. People will stop by. Right. They're like,
yeah, if Mobile Geezer doesn't get it across, I don't think anything will.
You can just, a good game you can play is, how much, guess how much gasoline cost back in my day.
Well, when I was 20.
Save it for the room, George. Save it for the room.
I can tell these people when I was 25, I could get a gallon of gas for 27 cents. That got your attention, didn't it? Yes. In 1970, I could get a gallon of gas for 27 cents.
How much were Reese's Buttercups?
I don't eat Reese's Buttercups. Eleanor, tell them how much Reese's peanut butter cups were in 1970, because I have no idea. I don't like them. She loves them.
I love Reese's Buttercups. The chocolate and the peanut are great.
To me, that's a terrible combination.
It's a match made in heaven.
But I'm in a minority, and I'm not a big chocolate lover. I've never gotten a big deal about chocolate at all. So I'm already chocolate. What do I need to eat it for?
Most people like milk chocolate or even dark chocolate, George.
Yeah, I like milk chocolate. think Eleanor likes dark chocolate better, but she does have a German heritage after all. So I like milk chocolate better. Yeah, I like chocolate. I just don't get why people go so crazy over it. Me, I'll take butterscotch and caramel anytime.
Let's see, and I know what George Renz would be taking. Renz would be, he's running late right now, so he's not going to catch this part, but something with a hint of coffee. Or you know what, coffee with a hint of something else is probably what he would like.
Yeah, that would work for me too, probably.
But yeah, hi Brian, and I know George already did the salutations, but what's this about P50? Is that phone even out yet?
Pushing the boundary of no. Is it out, Nigel?
No, but yeah, there was the renders of it. I saw the renders with the people were making fun of the camera bump because it had like the camera bump looked like it was a pair of stoves.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody has any room to make fun of anything on a Huawei camera because they're some of the best cameras in the world for the last, 3 or 4 years.
That's true. And while we're talking about cameras.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good place to start. Let me see if currently I'm in my second studio. This one's on the actual PC. So let's see how much better it runs. I'm curious.
So you're on totally different equipment, I assume?
Yeah. See the headphones, see this light. I'm actually doing something interesting with the lights. I've changed the color temperature to blue, which is why everything around me is blue, but then I'm using
see that on the blinds.
Yeah, but then I'm using this really, really orange light, which you can see how orange it is.
On your hand, yeah, I can see.
Yeah, but you know, when you set everything as blue, the light looks normal.
So so feel bad for him, folks. Ted's got the blues. Okay.
Okay. All right. Share screen. I haven't even shared it yet. Oops. Chrome tab. Crap.
Chrome tab crap?
No. I'm using the Chrome browser, and it doesn't have. I can't hide the ads. Damn it.
Oh yeah, I use the Chrome browser every week, so I'm used to it.
So no. There must be a way. How can I hide these ads? No.
I haven't found it yet, but
there must be an extension. I must find the let me go search it in Chrome extension reader mode.
Is there?
Let's see. There's something called reader mode. Let's see. I'm adding the extension. All right.
Did I get rid of them?
No, I have to reset. I think I have to reset it. I don't see the extension popping up though.
Yeah, I just typed in reader mode and extensions. I didn't get anything.
Hey, the extension disappeared. No bueno. That's not good at all, is it? Extensions.
Make sure you see those ads.
Come on, where am I?
If there's a company on earth that wants to make sure you see ads, you can bet it's going to be Google.
Extensions. All right, where is it? Reader.
I typed in reader, I got nothing.
This selects. It says it's there, but I don't see it on my browser. What?
When I type it in on extensions in the search, I get absolutely nothing. No search results found.
Okay, I figured it out. Yeah, I have to pin it. So I pinned it, and now.
How come I don't get it when I type in reader? How did you find it?
Yeah, Google search, George. Google.
I'm in extensions under search. Oh, I got to go to do a regular Google search?
Yeah.
Okay.
And oh my gosh, this is terrible. Generated with reader mode. It did a poor job. Like, this is all it gave me. All it gave me were the snippets.
Okay, I see. Yeah. Okay. That's not good at all.
Oh well.
I'd get rid of that.
Remove, boom. Oh, all right, guys, we'll power through. My apologies. So the Sony Xperia 1 Mark III, the phone I've been waiting since, I don't know, March, April. Sony, it went on sale in China, while Japan's NTT Docomo confirms the highest price tag is coming for the rest of the world. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark III has officially gone on sale in China. An article written by Daniel R. Deacon on Notebook Check. Let's see, with 2 storage variants and 2 different colors available for potential buyers. At about the same time, Japan's NTT Docomo mobile phone operator has revealed a hefty price tag for the Xperia 1 Mark III that aligns the prices in China and points to high prices for the Sony's 2020 flagship in other markets. The Xperia 1 Mark III is now on sale in China in 2 configurations, 256 and 512 gigabytes. I wonder why they bother doing that since, it has an SD card slot.
Yeah.
I mean, 256 is already high enough. I know you can't. Yeah, like usually you can't move an app to the SD card, but still 256 is a lot. But
with the type of video and camera capabilities, maybe they're just thinking you might need more storage.
True, but the SD card will take care of that. But let them make their money anyway. While the higher end model comes in, the entry level, the device with the what was that?
Oh, sorry, I forgot to turn my sound off my watch.
Let me zoom in on this so you guys see. Can y'all see it? Oh yeah, you guys can see it now. All right, yeah, because I'm on the PC, I can zoom in easier. Let's see, so the 256 gigabyte storage is about $1,334. It's selling in China for 8,449 yuan, while the 512 gigabyte model comes in black or purple and has a price tag of $1,491, which translates to 9,500 yuan. Meanwhile, in Japan, their phone is listed for a price of $1,411 for the 256 gigabyte model, which is, more expensive in China. It's more expensive in Japan than in China. That's surprising. Right. There's also a note stating that the phone is scheduled for release after July. Damn. And customers in Japan can plump for a gray colored model in addition to black and purple. Damn.
So they're saying it costs more in Japan, and it seems like they're hinting that it's going to cost more than that in the U.S. and Britain or UK.
Who knows? Who knows, really? But it's going to be around the 1,300. It's going to be around the 1,300 price mark. I doubt it'll cost cheaper than $1,300.
Well, it's just that the next paragraph says 14 to 15.
So around the $1,400 to $1,500. Well, yeah, I'm being optimistic. Hopefully, it'll be $100 cheaper.
Yeah.
It seems like a likely price tag for the Xperia 1 Mark III further afield, with an end of August release date for markets such as North Market and North America. 2021 Sony flagship certainly offers a lot of interest to prospective buyers. 4K 120 OLED display. Yes, I want to see a 4K on a phone. The Snapdragon 888 processor. That's all right. A variable telephoto lens from 70 millimeters to 105 millimeters, considering the state of the smartphone market and competition in the premium end.
Turn it off.
Such as Xiaomi that could be more aggressive with their pricing. $1,500 might be simply too much for ask if you're broke. Which I am.
The most fascinating thing to me is that telephoto lens.
Now, the fascinating thing for me is that display. 4K with 120.
Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. Where'd you go? You disappeared. I think he disappeared on us, folks. Because it looks like it's only me now. Yeah, Brian's right. Too much money, Brian. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, it's kind of fascinating, but I'm not spending that kind of money for a Sony phone. Well, it looks like you have to be satisfied with me. Somehow he got himself kicked out, I guess. And normally with StreamYard, you can get back in pretty easily. But maybe it's because he's in his other stuff. Here he comes. He's back.
I closed the wrong tab.
Oh, I've done that before. It's not just old folks who do that, huh?
Yeah, it's tricky when you're just using one display.
Yeah, I could never use one display because in Florida I had 3 displays. Here I always have 2, so I couldn't deal with one.
Yeah, yeah, Brian. Well, yeah, this is the big boy market now. You got to pay to play.
Brian, I guess you and I are little boys.
I don't know, George. You paid for the Galaxy S Ultra, didn't you?
Well, I traded in, so I ended up kind of making money on that deal. But the one I pay for is the Surface Duo, and I'll do that again. So yeah, that's why I can't buy other expensive phones.
How much was that? Was that $1,300?
That was $1,400 when I first got it.
$1,400. My goodness.
$1,400. Yep.
Okay. Hold on. I think there is actually this week. Hold on. Funny enough, though, somebody already got their hands on the device. So
really?
Yeah.
Where? I mean, in what country are they?
They imported it from China, but if they did, what's interesting is that they have the gray color. And if that's the case, the article said the gray color was only coming to Japan.
Okay. Yeah, I saw that in the article, yeah. Yeah, because it sounds like Japan's going to be the only one to get that particular color, yeah. But what country is he in that he got it so fast?
No, I think he's Russia, but he imported the phone.
Okay. I'm just wondering, it only got released last week, right? Officially?
In China, yeah.
Yeah. You must have some connections.
Let me, get the YouTube up, and then you can see.
Okay, there he is.
Yeah, he says he released it in China. And yet the prices are accurate, what we read in the article.
Yeah.
So yeah, size lens, micro SD card slot, LAN. It's kind of annoying that it's rated for, it supports PlayStation 4 remote play. Like PlayStation 5, guys, come on.
They probably didn't want to put in the R&D for that extra.
R&D, it's in-house.
Well, yeah, it's still in-house, but somebody's got to get paid to do it. To upgrade.
The people who are paid to do the PS4, why can't they do PlayStation 5?
I'm sure they have their reasons.
So 8 megapixel selfie camera. The 60 photos per second. That's interesting. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I really dig the gray color.
Yeah, so do I, actually.
I like there's a headphone jack right there, but I don't like that it's in the top, though. I wish it was in the bottom.
Yeah, I'm a top guy, so I always like it on top. The Pixel 4a has it on top.
My LG has it on the bottom.
Okay.
And then here it goes on about the display now.
Cool.
It's frosted gray finish. Yeah, it's a good looking phone.
Gray a lot. But it doesn't matter to me. I put a case on everything anyway.
Oh, apparently Sony also gave him a case with his purchase as well.
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Yeah, it came with it was a Sony branded case, and it has a flip thing to stand up your phone like Speaking usually does.
Cool.
And look, it was a good looking case, I gotta admit, but yeah, I don't know.
So are you thinking it's in your future?
Most likely, unless that Sharp phone or Pixel surprises me somehow.
I mean, you are the photography guy here, so
it's either unless I see something really great from the iPhone 13, or that Sharp phone. I don't know. That Sharp phone is too. I don't know much about Sharp, or maybe the Pixel 6.
And certainly Sharp doesn't know as much about cameras as Sony does, I wouldn't think, as far as phone cameras, I mean.
Yeah, that's true. Even though it's a big old 1-inch sensor, that's because you have a sensor doesn't mean you have the processing power.
Exactly.
The algorithm power to make good JPEGs or whatnot.
Yeah, the back end is what counts as far as the programming.
Yeah. And Pixel 6, it doesn't have the SD card and it doesn't have the headphone jack. So yeah, that takes it out. The only thing.
Well, wait, what did this Pixel 6 Plus have that the regular Pixel 6 didn't have? Was it the SD card? I remember the Plus had a couple of things that the regular one didn't have. I don't remember, but that's going to be expensive too. That one is intriguing me, though. That one is in my mind, so we'll see. It's probably going to come around the same time as the Duo. So,
all right, you got the next story. You gonna share it or?
Yeah, I'll do it. Just give me a sec. Share screen. Okay, it's there. Okie dokie. This one is on The Guardian. And Amazon U.S. customers have 1 week to opt out of mass wireless sharing. Eleanor, I hope you're still listening because this applies to you and me. Because Eleanor uses her Amazon every single day.
Every single day?
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what she uses for her alarm. I use Google. Now, wait a minute. I got to get... I'll do it later. Okay. Let me see. I know you like to read. This is by Alex Hearn, technology editor. So Amazon customers have 1 week to opt out of a plan that would turn every Echo speaker and Ring security camera in the U.S. into a shared wireless network as part of the company's plan to fix connection problems for its smart home devices. The proposal, called Amazon Sidewalk, involves the company's devices being used as a springboard to build citywide mesh networks. To me, that's key because that tells me nobody's going to be secure. That's my impression. That helps simplify the process of setting up new devices, keeping them online even if they're out of range of home Wi-Fi, and extend the range of tracking devices such as those made by Tile. But Sidewalk has come under fire for the apparent lack of transparency with which Amazon has rolled out the feature, as well as the limited time available for users to complete the tricky process required to opt out. Other critics have expressed concerns that failing to turn the setting off could leave customers in breach of their internet service providers' terms and conditions. That's right, because basically they're turning everybody's Wi-Fi to have access to each other. And Eleanor saying she uses Alexa, which I know she uses every day. And Alexa is going to be part of this, Eleanor, so we'll probably have to change these settings over the weekend. Amazon Sidewalk is a shared network that helps devices work better, the company said. In the future, Sidewalk will support a range of experiences from using Sidewalk-enabled devices such as smart security and lighting, and diagnostics for appliances and tools. The feature works by creating a low bandwidth network using smart home devices such as Amazon Echoes and Ring security cameras. At its simplest, it means that a new Echo can set itself up using a neighbor's Wi-Fi, I don't like that, or a security camera can continue to send motion alerts even if its connection to the internet is disrupted by piggybacking on the connection of another camera across the street. That's not good. Other devices that don't need a high bandwidth connection, such as smart lights, pet locators, and smart locks, can use Sidewalk all the time. But the company's plans have caused alarm among observers. Askin Soltani, a former chief technology officer of the U.S. Federal Trade Commission, told tech site Ars Technica, in addition to capturing everyone's shopping habits from Amazon.com and their internet activity, as AWS is one of the most dominant web hosting services, I think is the most. Now they are also effectively becoming a global ISP with the flick of the switch, all without even having to lay a single foot of fiber. The feature may also break the terms and conditions of users' internet connections, which do not allow such resharing. I agree. Yeah, all the providers are going to go against that. Users can disable Sidewalk in the settings section of the Alexa or Ring apps, but have until June 8th to do so. After that, if they have taken no action, the network will be turned on and their devices will become sidewalk bridges. In other words, anybody else with an Alexa, Echo, or smart speaker will have access to it too. Amazon is not the first company to look to create such a network. Apple has taken a similar approach with the company's range of AirTag item trackers, which can connect to the internet through any compatible iPhone they come into contact with. I didn't realize that till I read this. Not simply their owners. And BT, through a long-term partnership with FON, ran a service from 2007 until 2020 that allowed broadband customers to share spare bandwidth in a public Wi-Fi network. So I know I'm going to take my Amazon Echo and Eleanor's over the weekend and change the settings so that does not happen. So we have until Monday.
But what's the benefits of this? People can get free internet?
Yeah, they can get it from your house. Yes, that's a lot of the problem, which means they have access to your stuff. And who knows how much access? Well, I don't think anybody's telling us that.
But the community could get free internet. This could be like a good thing.
Yeah, but they'll also have access to your devices. That doesn't bother you. That bothers me a lot.
That's problematic.
You see, Brian, yeah, I agree, Brian. I agree 100%. That's
But
one of the
sneaky?
reasons for that's one of the reasons for the short notification, is my guess, just like the article says.
Transparency. Let me just take a double look at this article. Tab costs capturing everyone's shopping habits and yeah, they already do that though. Users can disable sidewalk to I don't know. It doesn't.
You're reading it different.
No, I'm reading the same article. It's just, yeah, it says
But
Apple's already doing.
you'll be able to, if your neighbor has an Amazon, you'll be able to access theirs. They'll be able to access yours. And it sounds like, remember it said citywide, so it sounds like you'll be able to do this all over the city. How that's possible, I'm not quite getting.
It looks like they're doing what they're doing, like what Apple does with the AirTags, though.
And they're saying Apple. I didn't know Apple did that. I didn't know Apple AirTags would connect to anybody's iPhone, but obviously it will.
Yeah, they do. That's how they work. That's how they're able to read a signal off of it.
No, I mean, but it sounds like if you're walking past somebody's iPhone, it'll recognize it too, which I don't.
Yeah.
Think so. Anyway, I'm going to go into the settings and make sure that's off before Monday.
I don't know. I'm curious to see where Amazon goes in with this, though. I'm not that scared.
Do you have an Echo or Echo?
Hell no.
Oh.
I have no Amazon products in this house. I just go on Amazon's website.
Oh, okay.
I just got two assistants.
I have one in the kitchen here and two that I don't even use, and Eleanor has two in the house, I think.
Let's see. Yeah, this is pretty much a nested Google environment. Two assistants. One of them a display, and then one of them is the Nest thermostat.
Yeah, I use both, so does Eleanor. So.
The only one thing I would like is a Chromecast audio, though, so I can make my Bluetooth speaker smarter.
Oh, you don't have any Chromecast at all?
I have a Chromecast TV, the 4K one from Google Stadia. And where's the other one? Did I sell the other one?
He doesn't even remember. That's sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have
But
Chromecast on all my TVs. So does Eleanor.
ooh, Chris, my girlfriend, has the Fire Stick,
There you go. Yeah, I have a Fire Stick in the other room. So does Eleanor.
but she doesn't use it now that we use a projector and we just Chromecast stuff to the projector. So
Okay, yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense.
Amazon has no business here, has no power here. Saying all that though, I had the Amazon Dash one where it was like pretty much like a barcode scanner. So like you would scan something and it would go to your Amazon Prime account.
Yeah,
to
where you
order.
could reorder, right?
Yeah, but Amazon killed it. Amazon killed it. What do you have in the bedroom, Eleanor?
Oh, she has the Amazon Echo,
Ah, okay.
the original one that we got, but she uses it to wake up, and she has to read the Bible to us, and she has Google read the Bible to her too sometimes. So she uses Amazon more than I do. I tend to use Google much more.
Okay. As far as I'm
I won't be
concerned,
disconnecting it, Eleanor.
yeah, it looks like you can now say it's past tense.
No, she'll still use it. She enjoys the convenience of it too. We'll just make sure that nobody else can use it. That's all. All right, you going for the next one?
Yeah, I'll go for the next one.
I love the way this guy wrote this article. I think he did a great job here.
Oh, by the way, I learned how to do the reader thing, the reader mode. But yeah, this story is from Vice, and let me share the screen so I can show off.
Well, can I just go install the? Can I just go install the extension and get the reader mode the same as you got it, or not?
No.
Or is it more involved in that? Nice. He's got the power now.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Let me. Oh yeah. So I got to give it to Vice. They don't really put much ads on here, but let me just turn it on. Oh, where'd it go? Boom. So Amazon introduces tiny Zen booths for stressed out warehouse workers. Okay. The problem is that I can't see the author by Matthew Galt. Boom.
Right.
Aha. And let me just make it bigger for you guys. Haha. Look at that. Oh no, I can make it bigger for me too. Boom. Yes. I can read it to you slowly.
There you go.
So Amazon, in one of the most dystopian moves yet, Amazon is introducing tiny booths where its overworked warehouse employees can momentarily, and just for a moment, which according to Bucky's, a moment is 7 minutes, no more, can momentarily escape a job so grueling, many people say they don't feel like they have enough time to even use the bathroom. The Zen booth, or mindful practice room, okay, as it's called, is part of the Working Well program Amazon announced on May 17th. According to Amazon's press release, Working Well is a mix of physical and mental activities, wellness exercises, and healthy eating support meant to help them recharge and re-energize. One of the Working Well initiative is Amazon, which guides employees through mindful practices in individual interactive kiosks at buildings. Interactive? That doesn't sound very calming. What this looks like in reality is a coffin-sized booth in the middle of an Amazon warehouse where workers can use a computer to view mental health and mindful practices. Based on a video released on an Amazon Twitter account, plants sit on a shelf and a fan runs to cool down the employee. The skylight on top is tinted blue. Pamphlets and signs adorn the walls. A computer waits for the employee to load up a guided meditation video. With Amazon,
if you play that video, it's the exact same as the next paragraph. All she says in that video is what that next paragraph says.
Brown is giving away the game by using let's see. A worker is not a robot with a battery that needs to be recharged. A worker is a human who needs things that Apple simply does not provide its workers. Amazon drivers piss and bog. What is that thing? A worker is a thing. a human who needs things, what would those things be?
Because she said the Zen booth is an interactive kiosk where you can navigate through a library of mental health and mindful practices to recharge the internal battery. And he's saying, but they're not machines. They don't have batteries.
Yeah, I understood that part, but like, what were the things? What are the things what do you think are the things that a worker needs?
Well, they can go in there and play some little videos. Basically, what struck me is like this could be a way to hypnotize people. That just popped right into my head. And I agree, it's totally dystopian.
Let's see. So with Amazon, I wanted to create a space that's quiet, that people can go and focus on the mental and emotional well-being. The Zen booth is an yeah, I already read that.
Yeah.
That's citing increased pressure from within, and Amazon drivers sued for being paid less than minimum wage and fought against an initiative to install surveillance cameras in their cars. Facing increased pressure from within and without due to its horrifying working conditions, Amazon has tried to clean up its images in the past year. It rebranded its brutal 10.5-hour mega cycle shift to single cycle after workers protested. Amazon, like much of what Amazon is doing, is putting a new coat of paint on the same shitty old system. It's like Brazil, when you paint the favelas bright colors so it doesn't look so destitute anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
Motherboard reached out to Amazon to find out when exactly its overworked staff is supposed to use Amazon booth. Is it during the notoriously short breaks? How short are these breaks again? Should they break out 5 minutes of their lunch to stare at another Amazon computer screen? Amazon did not immediately, comment.
Which is very telling, because if you know anybody that works in an Amazon warehouse, these people are under incredible pressure. So they're not going to let them take these breaks during their work time. So it's going to have to be take away from your break time or take away from your lunch.
Yeah.
So I think it's ridiculous.
Let's see.
Great article, by the way.
Yeah.
Are we moving on already?
Now.
Okay. Oh, you're looking at more on it?
Yeah. The next article is from 2019. It's too old. Let's see. Let me see something about the Amazon program, though. Amazon from May 17, 2021. I will share. What's this? Boop, 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 boom, boom.
Renz is asking for today's sponsor.
Oh, yeah. Today's sponsor. Gotta do one or the other. Let me just boom. Hey, Renz, today's sponsor of Friday Night Tech Talk is, you can't see it, Visible. Yes. Let me zoom in, at least try.
There you go.
Visible. Visible. Pay $25 a month for unlimited everything. All right, let's get back to the story. Invisible. No, Renz. Visible.
Visible, Renz. The same one Mike and Will have been talking about for, 7 or 8 months.
Yeah, this is their Tumblr. Mike or Will didn't get one. Haha. But yeah, they're the service that uses they give us our cell phone service. Me, George, and Mike. Will, and Mike. Will, and Mike.
Yeah, me. I'm a T-Mobile guy all the way.
All right, so let's see. Oh, by the way, George, it's called. I put it in the comments. By the way, you have to scroll up to see the name of the extension.
Okay.
I think it's I can't think of it. It's called Reader View Plus.
Oh, there it is. Okay, got it.
Ooh.
Thank you.
It always hides the author.
Oh, really? That's weird.
Amazon's new Amazon program will show warehouse workers meditation videos by Edward Ongweswigo. Amazon's language. Yeah, I feel like I already read it. of safety is a top priority for everyone at Amazon. While many companies under-record safety incidents in order to keep their rates low, Amazon does the opposite. We take an aggressive stance on recording industry injuries, no matter how big or small. That way we have ammunition in case they sue. While any serious incident is one too many, we learn and improve our programs to prevent future incidents. We are proud of the thousands of Amazonians who work hard every day to make our workplace even better. It's hard to overemphasize how much effective an injury reduction strategy would be for Amazon to simply demand less of its workers, but such a move makes no sense to a monopoly such as Amazon. It became everything store in part by pushing workers to the absolute limit. As its ubiquitous surveillance cements the company's status as the everywhere store, there is no reason to think it would look for more ways to make workers more resilient while it continues to grind their bodies down. That's true.
I just don't see how these people are ever going to find the time to use this thing. It's totally a PR move, if you ask me.
Let's see. Renz is saying they should have a booth with a face of an oppressive boss on a heavy back to punch. I don't want way more therapy. It's a shame that the workers didn't make a union. And Prime, June 21st is Prime Day. You planning on anything, George? You got your eyes on anything?
Got to see what they have. I didn't buy anything last Prime Day.
Did I buy anything last
Doesn't mean I won't this Prime Day.
Let's see. What did I get? I don't remember if I even got anything. Currently, I don't know. I got the things on my wish list. If anything's on my wish list decrease in price, I'll go after it. But the interesting thing, though, is that if you bought a $40 gift card, they give you $10. So if you're a Prime member, that was cool.
Yeah, I'm a Prime member.
Oh, right. So next story.
Okay. And this one's on me, yes?
I should have taken this one down.
You can take it. You want to take it?
Yeah, you'll do the
next one. Well, yeah, they're both LG, so.
You'll take the last two stories.
Okay.
That is a very loud watch.
We're doing the LG?
Yeah, we're doing the LG. But yeah, that's a very loud watch. What's your watch giving you a notification on?
I turned it off. Wait a minute, let me take a look again. No, that was my phone, I think.
Yeah, Brian, they should just give the employees more time off or give them less targets for them to hit or more bathroom breaks or something. But funny enough, apparently it's not just the warehouse workers. Apparently everybody, even in corporate offices, they work extremely hard. Like they get PTO, but they're lucky if they get to take it. But at least they're paid great.
Not so they treat everybody equally.
Equally shitty.
I wasn't going there, but I thought it. Yeah, that was my phone going off, so now that's fixed. All right, so.
Boom, boom. Let me go share this one. Yeah, this PC is doing very well. This is the one that I bought with Crystal, and I upgraded the processor on. I'm thinking of selling it, actually.
Well, why? Because you find that it does well, you're going to sell it?
Yeah. Like I said, it was built for gaming, and right now, the chips are in demand. So
that's true.
And Apple might be making some stuff that I might consider.
Okay.
Like the new MacBook Pros. Okay, boom.
Okay.
But yeah, it's doing very well. Very well. So very well. Okay, so this is by Simply Peter. LG, from May 31st, LG stops manufacturing phones today. Plant is transitioning to making home appliances. Oh, rest in peace. Pour one out, guys. Oh, gosh. It's so sad.
Okay, yes, this extension works very nicely. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So LG officially confirmed its exit from the mobile business in early April. It feels like it was longer, wow. But it needed some time to wind down operations. According to reports coming out of Korea, today, which was May 31st, is the last day of production for LG phones and tablets, guys. Which means, hold on, which means now any LG phone that exists, any LG phone that's out right now, including this LG G8X, exists. Is that how it goes? Or is it all the LG G8, all the LG phones that are out on the stores today are the phones that are made? I feel like I'm saying that wrong.
You certainly are, because I'm not getting what you're saying.
It's the same thing they were saying about floppy disks. Every floppy disk that exists has already been made.
Okay, yes, now that sounds right. Okay, so every LG phone that has that, I see your problem. Well, what you could say is every LG phone that is going to be made has already been made.
Thank you, George. Thank you, George. So again, boom. Every LG phone that's going to be made has already been made.
There you go. There you go.
All right.
See, now he's reduced to repeating old folks.
The company will continue to support existing phones for some time to come. Premium models will get 3 years of software updates. I feel like that's bullshit. You can check out the Android 11 update timeline for more details. That's going to be in the next article.
Yeah, nobody has believed that since they said it, so it's everybody's wait and see.
Some models, including the Q series phones, will get Android 12. The latest premium models are expected to go up to 13. Users will be able to receive after-sale services for 4 years from the date of the manufacture of the device. LG Electronic Factory in Vietnam, where most LG phones were built, will be switching over to home appliances. LG already transitioned some of its production there to appliances as a way to keep the smartphone factory's workers employed. That's nice of them. Remaining workers from the phone lines will be reassigned by the end of July. The plant at Haiphong was established in 2015 and has been making TVs and appliances in addition to phones. Also, sister companies LG Innotek and Display are producing camera modules and displays there. You can read more about the future of the Haiphong plant in LG's press release. The switch is prudent. The Korea Herald reported earlier today that LG Electronics is on track to become the biggest manufacturer of home appliances with a record high sales of $6.3 billion in Q2.
That surprised me. That's telling me they're outselling Samsung.
Yep. LG topped main rival Whirlpool in Q1 and now in Q2, and analysts expect it to remain on top for the rest of the year. Meanwhile, Apple Korea is trying to lure in current LG owners with a trade-in program, offering basically $135 towards a new iPhone 12 or 12 mini with some rules, which means it needs to be a 4G or 5G phone that you have used for at least a month. That's usually the part, of course.
I'm wondering why you have to have used it for at least a month.
Yeah, as a sort of final goodbye. Oh, so people just don't buy the phone at a cheap price and then just use it as a discount.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
As a sort of final goodbye, LG was supposed to sell a limited number of LG Velvet 2 Pro rollable phones, around 3,000 units to employees. However, that didn't go as planned. The issue is being blamed on congestion.
Yeah, in other words, they're not going to give the employees crap. That's what that says to me. At least they're all getting jobs. At least they're all keeping some kind of job. That's good.
Yeah, hold on. Do I share the entire screen or just a window? Boom, 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 boom. Let me just share the window and make it easier for me. Oh my gosh, Pink Floyd.
Yeah, exactly.
So LG shares list of phones eligible for the, you know what? Let me double check my LG G8X and see what what software it's on currently. Sometimes I forget.
You know what? Let me go get my Velvet and do the same thing, but I got to turn it on first.
Mm-hmm. Currently, I am still on Android 10. I did get a software update last month, which put me on the security on the Spring security.
I got the same
patch.
update too, but I was also still on 10.
So LG G8X, which was a premium phone, still on Android 10. Despite exiting the smartphone market, LG will continue to offer, let's just see the list.
And you're not on that list, right? The G8X is, oh no, there are some of the G phones on that list, right?
Oh, come on. Let's see. Okay, on the first list, LG G8X is rollout for, this is for Android 11. 11.
Right.
Q3 of 2021, and it's still being tested. The LG Velvet 5G is already got it. And then for Android 12, I don't see the LG G8X for Android 12. Can you believe that?
I see both the Velvets, but not the G8X.
The G8 is there, but not the G8X.
Exactly.
Even though it came out later.
Yeah,
Why?
Came out later, but it was not as high end, or am I mistaken?
What do you mean? The G8X was more.
It was the higher of the two?
Yeah, because it came with the dual display.
That's right. That's true.
I mean, the display wasn't as good as the G8, which was a quad HD display, and the G8X is a full HD. But yeah, I'm not. I don't know why I'm not getting Android 12 or even Android 13. Apparently, it's not even in the running.
Yeah, sure.
All right, you're up, George. It's just sad.
Okay, sorry. Anyway, my Velvet will be getting supposedly 12 and 13, but it's like we'll wait and see. So, of course, now that I've turned on my Velvet, I've got to go.
Hi, Crystal.
Turn off the sound. Hey, Crystal, glad to have you here. Thanks for coming. Let me get my sound off. Okay, we're on silent now. Okay. So we went to that. We did that story. Okay. Okay. You surprised me putting in this one. Okay, I'm sharing now. Okay, it's there.
You will get the updates, but by then, Android 13 is right.
Yeah, that's probably true, Brian. That's probably very true.
No, that's literally it. Like, that's how the timeline worked. The pixels will be on Android 14. It's funny because it's right, Brian.
Exactly. Okay. This is on a site called counterpointresearch.com. Hey, let me see if I can use that. I don't want this research. See if I can turn on that Reader View Plus. Okay. Okay, yeah, extension works well. Okay, U.S. smartphone market share by quarter. Now, here it is visually, and you can see Apple's kind of killing it here. Apple is gray, of course, followed by Samsung, then followed by LG, which is much less, and then Lenovo. Now, when they say Lenovo, I'm thinking for us, this is US, I'm thinking for us that means Moto, wouldn't you think?
Why did Lenovo get their own tab?
I don't know. I'm thinking it must be Moto if they're talking U.S. sales.
Yeah, that's true. It is Moto. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, that would make sense. And then others. But if we go down to the real numbers, you can actually see them. So 2019 quarter four, Apple 49, Samsung 20, so way below them. LG 9%, Lenovo 8%, or Moto, and everybody else 14%. Then by Q1 of last year, just before we hit the lockdown stuff, Apple dropped to 46. Samsung had come up to 32. And you can see when one goes up, the other goes down all the way through. And by Q2 last year, Apple stayed the same, but Samsung went down. Now, of course, that's when the, what do you call it, had hit. When all the lockdowns were taking place and everybody was staying home. And then by Q3, Apple had dropped, and somehow Samsung managed to go up a little bit to 30%. And as you can see, LG went up a tiny, tiny bit. And of course, Moto just kept falling off till the end. And then Q4, Apple kind of made a strong comeback, killed Samsung, obviously, with that 16%. And LG started dropping again. And first quarter of this year, Apple dropped to 55. Samsung came back up. So if you look at the beginning and at the end, it's not that much difference for Apple and Samsung. Apple went up some. They got stronger. And Samsung. So they both went up some, I guess, because we started coming out of lockdowns. People started buying a bit more. But Lenovo is still falling off. I mean, LG is still falling off. And of course, why Moto is even on this list, I don't know. But if I were LG, when I looked at this chart, and if I were LG, that would have driven me right out of the business also.
Yeah, it's crazy. 2020 Q4. What the heck? Yeah, the new. I guess people really love those new iPhones.
That's what I think. Yeah. And I know I do, and I guess a lot of people did. But
or a lot of people are buying iPhone 11s.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, yeah. Well, a lot of people love the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 12. I love both.
Yes. So. Yeah. So 2020 Q4. Who lost though? Like, who did Apple? I think Apple took a huge chunk out of Samsung in 2020 Q4. Right? Go back to the graph.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And then they both came back up again. Because at the end of this first quarter of this year, Samsung was above all that they had been all of last year, and Apple came back up to 55%. So I guess from 2019 to 2021, Samsung took a little bit out of Apple, but obviously it's just between those two all the time.
Yeah, it goes up when they release a phone, it seems.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So when Samsung releases a phone, that's when they go up a bit. And
and they say, and if you look at this third bullet, Samsung grew to 28% share through Samsung's early launch of the Galaxy S21. Samsung launched this new Galaxy S21 in early February instead of March, like in previous years. And I agree, that made all the difference in the world, and you can see that in the numbers.
Yep, I see it.
Yeah,
you see it.
So it makes sense. Of course. I don't think Apple would ever want them to show worldwide because Samsung just eats everybody alive, including Apple. But in the U.S., it's still Apple, so it makes perfect sense to me. So interesting to actually see them on a chart and in numbers.
Yeah.
All right, now you wanted me to take the next story also. Now, of course, this one will interest me because I used to ride this every day. All right, so I didn't even realize this has happened, especially as you get down towards the end. I'm going to share it now.
Yeah, there's been a lot of attacks on the cyber.
Yeah, I was amazed as I read through this article. So it's there now.
Oil pipelines, chickens, now the MTA. Won't it end? Oh,
okay, let me turn it on.
Use it. Let's see.
That's a lot.
Boom. Hey.
Yeah, you helped a lot with that. Okay, the MTA, for those of you who don't know, that's the Metropolitan Transit Authority. That's who runs the New York subway system, which is the largest subway system in the world. And I didn't even know about this until Ted shared the story. Hackers with suspected ties to China penetrated the New York Transit Agency's computer systems in April, an MTA document shows. Transit officials say the intrusion did not pose a risk to riders. This is an interesting article. Like I said, I used to take this train from Jersey. I used to take this train in different parts of New York. So I used to take it a lot when I was still living in Jersey. And then the breach was the third and most significant cyber attack on the transit network in recent years by hackers thought to be connected to foreign governments, transit officials said. Credit Karsten Moran for the New York Times. Published June 2nd, so 2 days ago. A hacking group believed to have links to the Chinese government penetrated the Metropolitan Transportation Authority's computer systems in April, exposing vulnerabilities in a vast transportation network that carries millions of people every day, according to an MTA document that outlined the breach. The hackers did not gain access to the systems that controlled the trains, and rider safety was not at risk, thank God, transit officials said, adding that the intrusion appeared to have done little, if any, damage. But a week after the agency learned of the attack, officials raised concerns that hackers could have entered those operational systems so they could have taken over the trains, or that they could continue to penetrate the agency's computer systems through a back door. Well, if they know the back doors, why not close it? Just my thought. The document also said, also shows transit officials say a forensic analysis of the attack has not revealed evidence of either, and that hackers did not compromise customers' personal information. The agency reported the attack to law enforcement and other state agencies, but has not disclosed it publicly. And I have something to say about that at the end. The breach was, and listen to this, the breach was the third and most significant cyber attack on the transit network, North America's largest, by hackers thought to be connected to foreign governments in recent years. The MTA is one of a growing, this is what surprised me, number of transit agencies across the country targeted by foreign attackers, and the breach comes during a surge of cyber attacks on critical American infrastructure, from fuel pipelines to water supply systems. That's right, because Florida, right outside of Tampa, the water system got hacked. A ransomware attack last month on the Colonial Pipeline, one of the nation's largest pipelines, led to a precautionary shutdown of a network stretching from Texas to New York that carries nearly half the gasoline, diesel, and jet fuel of the East Coast. The shutdown caused panic buying across the Southeast. It certainly did here. In recent months, cyber attacks have also crippled police departments in the District of Columbia and elsewhere, as well as hospitals treating coronavirus patients, and intrusions that involve criminal groups holding data hostage and seeking payments to unlock the data. The attack on the MTA did not involve financial demands and instead appears to be part of a recent series of widespread intrusions, I didn't know about that, by sophisticated hackers believed to be backed by the Chinese government, according to FireEye, a private cybersecurity firm that worked with the federal government and helped identify the breach. The broader hacking campaign comprised dozens of federal agencies, that's right, defense contractors and financial institutions, among other sectors, and was discovered in late April. The Chinese government routinely denies carrying out hacking operations. It's unclear why the MTA was the target of the campaign, but investigators have several theories. Listen to this. One focuses on China's push to dominate the multi-billion-dollar market for rail cars, an effort that they could benefit from knowing more about the inner workings of a transit system that awards lucrative contracts. In recent years, China has used cyber attacks as a way to advance its economy and become the dominant global superpower, according to the Justice Department. Now, listen to this one. Another more benign view is that hackers mistakenly entered the MTA system, sure they did, and discovered it was of little interest, which cybersecurity experts say is not unusual. In any event, the hackers did not make any changes to the agency's operations, collect any employee or consumer information like credit card numbers, or compromise any MTA accounts, transit officials said. As a 34-year-old former programmer, if the hackers are that good, why could they not cover up anything that they actually did? So you're telling me they didn't get any credit card numbers, any employee information. If I'm good enough, I'm going to be able to not let you see that I got that information. That, to me, is a very viable possibility. Anyway, plus the fact I've done contracting as a programmer for the Air Force, for the Marines, and for the FBI. And I can tell you in all cases, the government hires contractors to do all of these systems, and they're usually not designed very well. Our government has a habit of spending little money on very critical systems, because I've been involved in one. And so I wouldn't believe anything they're saying about not getting information. That's just my opinion, based on my experience working on government systems. Oh, and I've also worked on the New York State police's system too for a couple of years.
Usually it's a thing where if a hacker goes in, finds a breach, they usually patch the breach that they were able to get in.
If these hackers were worth their salt, they're going to not leave you any evidence that they got anything. So these people have no idea whether they got stuff or not. That's just my opinion.
You can usually see if they accessed or,
yes, it's easy to see if somebody accessed, but you're going to tell me you're sure they didn't get anything? That's easy enough to cover up, I would think. I think
what's the challenge to cover up is if someone's in the system, or someone created an entry into the system.
Right. If you catch them while they're in it, that's a totally different ballgame. But once they're done and then you find it, how do you know what they did? I don't think you have any way of knowing what they did. That's my guess. Unless you have a system that's recording every single keystroke that happens in your system. And I guarantee you our government does not have that kind of system.
Yeah,
now, the CIA might, but not many. Well, the NSA might, but I don't think anybody else would. Just my guess. Anyway, now it gets to me much more serious. The intrusion is the latest in an escalation of cyber attacks against American transit agencies. This surprised me. Most chauffeurs are financially strapped and can usually only afford basic cybersecurity protections. That's one of their problems. A study last year by the Mineta Transportation Institute, a research organization, found that while over 80% of transportation agencies surveyed believed they were prepared to manage cybersecurity threats, only 60% had a cybersecurity plan in place. And I'll bet you that was a weak one. A lot of transit agencies don't have chief security officers, much less cybersecurity officers. So they're making a big deal out of that. My first thought was, you have a cybersecurity officer, and what kind of team does that guy have? My guess is not much. That's just saying. A ransomware attack on the San Francisco MTA in 2016 disrupted ticketing systems, forcing the agency to provide free service for 3 days, which tells me they probably paid off a ransomware attack. In Texas, Fort Worth Regional Transportation Agency lost access to its IT systems, data, and customer support in 2019 after being hacked by a ransomware group that threatened to expose public data. I'll bet you they're paying off all these people. In October, a ransomware attack disrupted Philadelphia's transit authority operation for months after the agency was forced to block employees from accessing their email and stop providing real-time travel information. That tells you that was a pretty serious hack. Sacramento's transit agency and the state transportation department in Colorado have also been hit by such. So all these subway systems are all getting nailed, and most of us had no idea. I certainly didn't. None of the attacks posed a physical threat to riders or drastically disrupted train service, but they have impeded operations, threatened to drain millions of dollars in ransom demands, and cost hundreds of thousands of dollars in forensic analysis after breaches were identified. And it would make perfect sense to me if I'm a hacker. I don't want to kill people because they're going to start coming after me until they get me. If they just have to pay me some money, they're not going to come after me but so hard. So that's my guess. Initially, you might think the biggest risk is the stuff you see in movies, somebody taking over a bus remotely or taking over a train remotely and putting the passengers at risk. But recovering from the attack is expensive, which puts their ability to operate at risk. The attack against the MTA also comes amid growing concerns about the state-owned China Railway Rolling Stock Company, the world's largest train car producer, which has aggressively pursued contracts to build rail cars in major cities. So I was surprised that they were the largest. The company has won contracts in cities including Boston, Chicago, Los Angeles, and Philadelphia. Many competitors believe by underbidding competitors using state funds to underwrite the cost, which makes perfect sense.
Damn.
The Chinese, who knew that these people, had cars in all these cities? And who knows what technology is inside those cars? I'll bet you our government doesn't. The Chinese corporation has never produced rail cars for New York's transit agency, transit officials say, but it was the winner of an MTA challenge in 2018, soliciting ideas for upgrading the city's aging rail network. The company has proposed investing $50 million to develop a new subway car for the aging. I wouldn't be surprised if China got that. As the threat of cyber attacks has grown and trade tensions between the U.S. and China have intensified, the dominance of the state-owned company has raised worries among lawmakers, defense officials, and industry experts that the equipment has left critical American transportation infrastructure vulnerable to cyber attacks. In 2019, Congress banned public transit agencies from using federal funds to purchase rail cars or buses from Chinese-owned companies, and agreed to penalize any agencies that do so using their own funds. Okay, so maybe, who knows? The latest breach at the MTA, combined with recent increase in cyber attacks on transit agencies, has raised questions about the transit agency's cyber defenses. According to a government official with knowledge of the cyber attack and steps the MTA took to address it. So, it sounds like he doesn't think they did enough. To gain access to the MTA and other systems, the hackers took advantage of vulnerabilities in Pulse Connect Secure, a widely used connectivity tool that offers workers remote access to their employers' networks. The cyber espionage campaign involved two groups of China-linked hackers, one of which was likely operating on behalf of the Chinese government, according to FireEye. The MTA systems appear to have been attacked on 2 days in the second week of April, and the access continued at least until the intrusion was identified on April 20th, the MTA document shows. The hackers took advantage of a so-called 0 day on a previously unknown coding law in software for which a patch does not exist. Amazing what a country does with computers. It just amazes me. Hackers gained access specifically to systems used by New York City Transit, which oversees the subway, that's true, and buses, and by both the Long Island Railroad and Metro North Railroad, according to the MTA document outlining the breach. The hackers compromised 3 of the transit authorities' 18 computer systems, transit officials said. Oh, it also controls the trains that come in from Jersey, too, because I used to ride those every day. But Portnoy said there was no employee customer information breach, no data loss, and no changes to our vital systems. As far as he knows, I would dispute that.
Yeah.
Our response to the attack, coordinated and managed closely with state and federal agencies, demonstrated that while an attack itself was not preventable, our cybersecurity defense system stopped it from spreading through the internet. BS is my opinion. Once the broad intrusions that included the MTA were identified in late April, the Department of Homeland Security, Cybersecurity Infrastructure Security Agency, the National Security Agency, and the FBI issued an alert about their vulnerability. Oh, and being upfront, I got to say, when I was programming for the FBI or the Marines or the Air Force, the Department of Homeland Security did not exist yet, because that came into being as a result of 9/11, and I was doing stuff in 98, 99, 2001, and 2002. So the software company that owns Pulse Connect Secure, Ivanti, provided immediate steps to mitigate the damage and release a security update to fix the vulnerabilities. Well, hopefully they had the expertise. New York Transit officials say they implemented the fixes within 24 hours of their release. After receiving the warrant from security officials, the MTA quickly conducted the detailed forensics audit, which found malware in the authorities' post-connect secure applications. The malware included malicious software known as web shells, according to the MTA document, that typically provided hackers a backdoor to remotely access and, in some cases, control certain servers over a long period of time, which tells me this company that they've contracted, left a way to get to a backdoor, to create a backdoor at least. So I would be leery of them working for me going forward. Though the hackers did not make any ransom demands, experts say it's possible that they benefited financially from the attack in other ways. There's a lot of avenues to monetize this access into this environment beyond the ransomware attack. Ongoing access can be interesting to many groups, even governments. Maybe there's a strategic advantage to understanding the operating model of a transit agency. Yeah, I guess so, because of all these companies around, all these MTAs around the country have been attacked. Something's got to be giving these people a reason to do it. The forensic review also found signs that the hackers took steps to erase, what did I say? The evidence of the intrusion, raising questions among law enforcement about whether there were breaches the transit agency had not discovered, which is exactly what I think happened, according to a government official familiar with the breach. The MTA required 3,700 employees and contractors, or 5% of its total workforce, including contractors, to change passwords as a precautionary measure, according to the transit agency. The MTA also reset the other digital certificates similar to passwords. That's good. Enable access to the authorities' network and migrated systems from post-connect secure good to a different virtual private network. The response to the intrusion cost the agency an estimated $370,000. I tell you, got off cheap. Anyway, so you can see that kind of thing kind of excites me because I have some familiarity with how the programming on this type of stuff works, not on transit authority stuff, but on government contracts. So anyway, well-written article, and I'm glad they admitted
it was actually
happened that they didn't know.
Very put together. Oof.
Yep.
Looks like the next war is going to be on cyber.
Oh, yeah. Although there's some hinting. I guess every time we accuse, or we come close, our politicians come close to accusing China of that leak coming out of the Wuhan.
Mm-hmm.
I gather they thought, well, we can, get our troops ready for nuclear war. This is what China's saying to their troops. So I get that this is their response. But if most people think it's saber rattling, and I've watched a lot of Australian news sites, or a number of them anyway, and they've been talking about going to war with China for a couple of months now. So wouldn't surprise me if it happened with Australia and not us. So interesting. All right, so last stories for you, right? Because I just read the last two.
It's one, the Supreme Court cybercrime law.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me.
No, that's right. I don't have to share it. You're sharing it. Oh, yeah. I love this. I love this extension. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Yeah, necessity is the mother of invention.
Yeah.
This one doesn't look like. Looks like the ad's already. Oh yeah, I forgot. I have the uBlock ad. It's so in case I use it just in case it doesn't work. So justices expressed qualms about sweeping computer crime law. The government's interpretation of a 1986 law that's being used to persecute hackers and internet activists risks making a federal criminal of us all, Justice Neil Gorsuch said. The Supreme Court on Monday indicated serious reservations about the ambiguity and scope of the nation's only major cybercrime law, hinting it may narrow the law's applicability to avoid criminalizing such acts as checking social media at work. During the arguments in a case involving Georgia police officer convicted of violating the 1986 Computer Fraud and Abuse Act by accessing a license plate database, the justice pushed a Justice Department lawyer to explain how a ruling in the government's favor wouldn't open the door to persecutions of innocuous behavior. Those could also include browsing Instagram on a work computer or performing public-spirited security research to test a system for vulnerabilities. As the first CFAA challenge to reach the High Court, the Van Buren case generated amicus briefs from a wide range of technology, privacy, and cybersecurity experts, most of them on Van Buren's side. A group of cybersecurity experts described the CFAA as a sword hanging over the head of researchers who probe computers for weaknesses with the goal of helping their owners fix the flaws. Under the government's broad interpretation of the CFAA, they wrote standard security research practices such as accessing public available data in a manner beneficial to the public yet prohibited by the owner can be highly risky. The context. The case that could decide the scope of the CFAA stems from a tawdry sting operation. In 2017, a district court convicted police officer Nathan Van Buren for using his access to the license plate database to check whether a strip club dancer was an undercover officer in return for a loan from a man who turned out to be an FBI informant.
So undercover over undercover. I mean, this is a lot of undercover going on here.
So one guy says, hey, check if this strip dancer's undercover.
Yeah, and the guy he's talking to is undercover. Yeah.
The U.S. Court of Appeals for the 11th Circuit upheld Van Buren's conviction, finding that the CFA prohibited accessing a computer for improper purposes, even if the defendant was authorized to use it for other purpose. 4 appeal courts have interpreted the CFA in this broad manner, while 3 have interpreted it more narrowly.
I like the fact that they prohibited for using for improper purposes, even if the defendant was authorized to use it. I like that fact.
But it was overturned. Previous CFA rulings have generated concern about the law's scope. In 2015, a court in California convicted the local news producer Matthew Keyes on hacking charges for giving his work password to hackers who used it to deface a Los Angeles Times article. Keyes, who did not conduct any hacking himself, was subsequently sentenced to 2 years in prison. The most controversial CFAA case was never reached a verdict. In 2011, a federal prosecutors indicted the prominent internet freedom activist Aaron Swartz on hacking charges for downloading millions of journal articles using a subscription provided by MIT. Swartz, then 24, faced 35 years in prison. He died by suicide in January 2013 while awaiting trial. A slippery slope. The justices sounded alarm Monday about the broader reading of the CFAA. Justice Neil Gorsuch suggested that the Van Buren case was the latest example of the government trying to broaden the scope of criminal laws in contestable ways. The DOJ's argument risked making a federal criminal of us all, according to Gorsuch. The government lawyer, Deputy Solicitor General Eric Fegan, argued that the CFA critics' warnings about overzealous prosecutions were baseless. Nothing's ever baseless now, is there?
Yeah, not when they want to overreach.
He noted that the prosecutors haven't charged anyone for browsing Instagram at work in one of the judicial circuits where an appeals court agreed with the government's interpretation. Fegan accused Van Buren's lawyer, Jeffrey Fisher of Stanford University, of painting a wild caricature of our position with invented cases about CFAA overreach. To the extent we start to see cases like this, that'll give courts, including this court if necessary, the opportunity to further articulate those limits. But several justices appeared unpersuaded by Fegan's argument that the court could simply pare back the law in the future if prosecutors went too far. You're asking us to write definitions to narrow down what could otherwise be viewed as a broad statute and dangerously vague. Yeah, why would
they always do that on papers because the more vague they make it, the more they can get away with digging into stuff they've got no business digging into. That's what law enforcement does.
Yep. The best thing the government can say is we haven't bought a whole bunch of these prosecutions yet, he said, but they would be available under the government's reading. Other questions. So several justices expressed uncertainty about the definition of key terms in the law, such as authorization, and they spent a significant amount of time asking both lawyers about the meaning of the word "so" in one part of the statute. What is this statute talking about when it comes to information in the computer? All information that somebody obtains on the web is in the computer in a sense, I have a feeling that's not what Congress was thinking when it was adopted this law. I don't really understand the potential scope of the statute without having an idea of what that term means.
Yeah, all those terms means. At another point, Justice Stephen Breyer cited the history of CFA, which amended an existing computer crime law that had been folded into a 1984 omnibus crime bill in response to fear sparked by the Hackerville war games. The 1984 law specifically outlawed accessing a computer for unauthorized purposes. Even though the CFAA dropped that language, Breyer suggested that history says that they didn't mean to make a substantive change. In response, Fisher pointed to a congressional committee report on the CFAA that referenced a desire to clarify the law's application. Dating and lying. The justices also sought more clarity about the consequences that Fisher argued will result from the broad reading of CFAA. Alito asked Fisher to explain how the CFAA would criminalize one of his example scenarios, lying about one's weight on a dating website. Fisher responded by receiving interested messages from potential romantic partners based on a falsified weight. The users would be obtaining information from a computer in violation of the website's term of service and thus also the CFAA. Going a little bit too far, don't you think?
Technically, though, that is true.
Technically, that is true, but it's kind of silly to me.
I mean, if you were to say, if you were to go on a computer and say, hey, like, are you a manager? And the computer, you just say, yes, I am a manager to a computer. So it gives you all the terminals or a screen, like on Salesforce.
Well, yeah, then that would be different. Yeah, that's a real breach. But really, though, it's the same thing. I don't know, falsified weight on dating. Yes, you're taking it off the computer, but still, it's not the same thing to me.
Just thinking that because they don't say you have to prove it, your weight.
I'm just thinking it's dating. It's not security or cybersecurity to me.
I mean, no, it's definitely cybersecurity in the way the statute is asking you to. It acknowledges people have a right to protect the data, and there's limits on who has an authority to the data.
Yeah.
Lying on you about your weight would bypass the authorization. That's outside of that website's terms of service.
Yeah, that's probably true. But you could see previously, that obviously the laws are written as vague as possible to give the authorities as much leeway as they can get in digging into stuff.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. I forgot to make this bigger for you in case you guys wanted to see. Let's see. I lost my place. Slippery slope. Now, where did you go? Dating and lying. Similarly, Fisher told Justice Elena Kagan checking Instagram at work constituting obtaining words and pictures from one's Instagram feed, and if a company prohibited social media browsing on work computers, obtaining that information would violate the CFAA by contravening the employer's policy. That one I'm less clear about.
Exactly.
On the other hand, justices also signaled a desire for some prohibition against abuses of workplace privileges, such as the one that Van Buren committed. Also cited the possibility of a bank employee misusing customers' credit card numbers. When Sotomayor asked Fisher about this, he argued that Congress could pass other laws to,
You don't have to pass other laws. That's ridiculous.
The core of the problem is that there is no foothold in the CFAA to inch the statute forward to cover the conduct in this case. Like, if you have to pass a law, then you might as well just, have the law pass this one.
Exactly.
On this very issue, just have one law. Those could include, is that there's no foothold in the CFAA to inch the statute forward to cover the conduct in this case without also covering innocent violations of formal and informal contracts. Those could include websites, terms of service agreements, employee handbooks, and college course syllabi. One question from the new Justice Amy Coney Barrett, who said it sounded as though Fisher was treating authorization as an on and off switch. Once someone was authorized to access data, it wouldn't matter for legal purposes how they use that access. Why, she asks, shouldn't the court view authorization as inherently dependent on the purpose of the access? Fisher responded that the CFAA didn't explicitly say that, and given that other statutes do make those kind of distinctions, there's good reason to believe that Congress didn't intend to do that here.
So once again, the official's hiding in the vagary of the way the law is written.
Yeah.
But of course, these laws are written by lawyers, and if they're told to write it as vague as possible, that's what they're going to do, aren't they?
It definitely needs an update from since 1984, though.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's getting close to 40 years.
Yep.
And there was no such thing as an internet 40 years ago. So come on, guys.
And how would this pertain to Amazon Sidewalk, the CFAA?
I could see where since a neighbor has access to your Echo, if he could back into some data of yours, well, I could see where that law would kick into effect. Couldn't you?
What if the person, like, they didn't hack into your Amazon devices to get into through Sidewalk?
Well, if he has Sidewalks, he doesn't have to hack in. He's already in. That's the problem.
But no, I'm talking in the sense that what if like, let's say you, for example, let's say you had yours turned off,
right?
But then he visited you, he gained access to your phone. It didn't have a lock screen on it for some reason out of the blue,
Okay.
and then he turned it on there, which gives him access to Sidewalks. Like he wasn't authorized to have your phone to change it, but he has legitimate access to Sidewalk.
Well, if he accessed your phone without permission, he's already broken the law, hasn't he? Which I would think means anything he does with that from that point on is also breaking the law, I would think.
Did he? I mean, it's like walking into a house with the door unlocked. Were they trespassing?
No, but if he picked up my phone and used it without my permission, I think you've broken the law at that point.
Depends on the permission part, doesn't it?
Well, I said without permission, I said. If I'm in another room and he picks up my phone and starts changing things or gets access, well, to me, you've just committed a crime.
I don't know. If anyone's actually paying attention, put on your comments in the... Let us know what you guys think.
Like you're saying, they need to update that law. That's for sure.
Yeah, true. Oh, right. All right. Stories. Oh, next is
next is your favorite thing of the week.
That's right. And I finally got smart, and I just put the URL in the description box, guys, so I don't have to keep going.
I saw that you did that.
But guys, if you guys are into tech and tech stories and curious about where we get our stories from, then go on over to reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles. Again, reddit.com/r/glowing rectangles. The URL is in the description box below, and feel free to share any stories that you've come across in your day-to-day right here. Just go, if you have a Reddit account, go to create post, boom, and
of course,
share.
the URL is also at the bottom of the show notes every week, so you can get to it either way. Yeah.
And then you can just share a post, image, or link. And while you are here on the subreddit of glowing rectangles, trying to go back.
Okay.
Go back. Oh, it won't let me go back because it thinks I'm trying to post something.
Oh, okay.
No, discard.
Discard,
there we go. Yeah, there we go. And while you are here, feel free to give an upvote on, that's this right here, an upvote on any story that you find interesting. So this guy's doing a video test. Let's go to see the top stories of today on our Friday. First thing is an ad. Turtles dancing.
The video test is the top one right now.
Hold on. Is this? No. Right. Yeah. I'm not in the glowing rectangle subreddit.
Okay.
Hold on. That's why.
Yeah, that V60 video test is the top one right now. There you go. That is the top one.
Oh, that's nice. No.
And how come you got a different one? I just hit top and I got the video test.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right, though. It is the top one. It's got the most upvotes. It's got 8 upvotes.
Okay.
Nice. Then we got, what's her name? Isa Rodriguez with looking at the Vivo 21 5G. And then we have the OLED an OLED XPS 13. I like the sound of that. Hey, George, have you ever heard of the, what's it called? The Dell Precision? Precision series. It looks like it's a business. It's for business users.
Oh, I've seen it somewhere, just written somewhere or in an article or something. I think that's the only thing I've ever seen about it.
Yeah, I always thought the business line for Dell was Vostro, but apparently at first I thought it was an XPS, but no, it's called Precision. It's different. It has the same carbon fiber feel on the top. That's why I got confused.
Yeah, I thought it was XPS also. So.
Yeah, I thought XPS was the only one that had the carbon fiber feel on top, but no, apparently it's also Precision. And then we have looks like the subreddit's creator, some gadget guy, Hua Bagnell, put out a review on the Infinix Note 10 Pro, good and cheap. We need to go check that out later. Oh, and this was my recent submission, a guide to buying an old person's first mobile phone by Tech Dad Journey. He doesn't really have that many subscribers, so I just went ahead and subscribed to him. Definitely go subscribe to him. I recommend. He's worth a subscribe.
Okay.
Let's see. Can you? Oh, no. I need a second monitor.
It's tough with one monitor. I haven't used one monitor in a long, long time. So
this is Adrian Reddick's Tech Dad Journey, and he's got some great videos. 227 subscribers, and looks like he has a lot of videos too. But
okay, good.
Something I wanted to check out. Degree versus certifications, which one is better to start in IT? I'm going to give that a watch tomorrow night. I got a gig tomorrow afternoon. But which operating system is better for kids? Why the headphone jack is still relevant. I'm going to check that one out too. So yeah, let's make this a featured one. Adrian Reddick's Tech Dad Journey. Go check him out. And that's the story, folks.
I just subscribed to him.
Oh, right. I think that's the story, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed all that.
So I think Ted came up with some pretty interesting stories. Anytime you see this old guy get heated up over stories, you know Ted's come up with some good stories.
Yeah, yes. I'd like to get that old man heated up.
Okay.
Okay. All right, folks. So
thanks for coming in, everybody. As always, thanks for all the support. Thanks for how loyal you all are. And, of course, next week we'll be back on the Mobile Geezer channel. But, I don't know if any of you saw it, but I did. You should know. I'm the kind of person, and as a born-again Christian, I don't think people say enough of the nice thing that should be said. And I will do it every once in a while, so I made a specific point this week to go out on Twitter and say something about Ted because...
On Twitter?
Yes, you probably never saw it. But I made a post about just saying what a good guy you are, what a stand-up guy you are, how loyal you are, and I just wanted people to know it. So anyway, if any of you follow Mobile Geezer on Twitter, you'll see that tweet earlier this week. But I just felt like somebody should point out just what a great stand-up guy Ted is, so I did. And I'll do that once in a while with everybody. I used to embarrass guys at work because I'm like that. But it's how I am. To me, if there's something nice to say it once in a while.
That's a good one. If there's something nice to say it once in a while. That should be the tagline.
Yep.
Let's share. What do I share? Screen, window. Let's share the window. Boom. Oh, look at you. Look at Ren's though. Boom. 2 cups of coffee.
Okay. Oh, that's what Wen just put out on Twitter?
Yep.
Okay. He must have just done that a little while ago, no?
19 minutes ago.
Okay, yeah. I was going to say, since we've been broadcasting. Yeah, because I follow Ren's on Twitter, too. And now I see it also. Cool. He's hard at work, but he's still faithful.
Okay, let's go check it. Where are you?
I see the tweet you. Oh, I'm looking at it right now.
Boom, 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 boom.
That's
boom.
probably my favorite Robert Redford movie.
Mm-hmm. All right, where is it? It's getting close. Prime Day.
Yes, it is.
I might get a condenser mic.
Okay. Yeah. Whether I buy anything or not, I still find Prime Day exciting, like everybody, like all of us tech heads, anyway. Yeah.
Oh, just a quick. There it is. Boom. Oh, can't make it bigger.
Okay.
Let's see if I can make it bigger. Bigger.
There you go.
Oh, just a quick tweet from about Ted from Ted.
Actually, I put that out Sunday. Yeah.
He has been part of a weekly Friday night tech talk for 2 years. Has it been 2 years? Gee.
Yeah. Yes, it's been.
Oh
2
my
years.
gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my. And a better, more intelligent, loyal, stand-up guy doesn't exist. Thanks, George. Probably haven't looked hard enough.
just telling the truth as it is.
Oh.
Then I'll feel better when I insult you too. So.
Let's see. Yeah. Oh, a lot of pictures on my Instagram, on my Twitter. I use my Twitter like I use my Instagram.
Yeah, so do I.
Boom.
All right, good show.
Thank you again for that, George. That was sweet of you.
No, I'm just telling the truth.
Well, we'll be here. Well, here, but I mean George's channel.
So what he's saying is we'll be here, but there.
Yeah, we'll be here next week, but over there on George's channel.
Exactly.
Thanks for watching.